Komi techniques and Komi practice. I was inspired by a conversation that I had today, uh, and thought I'd share with you some of the things that I was talking about with a friend of mine. Okay, so Kinpu-ryu Komi-buki is the probably most noticeable technique from the school. Hirosaki players use the hara, use it strong. Some people play a little more slowly. Some faster. Um, and some people, in addition to the hara, will catch it in the throat a little bit to give it a little bit of whoop-pow, whoop-pow, right? Right, and there's, you can kind of let it fade out a little bit so you get this kind of bong, 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 sort of effect. There's a lot of variations, but the thing that they all have in common is that they use the hara, the lower abdomen. Um, Kikude did a recent lecture, which I would certainly recommend that you listen to. It's really good. And she talks about some of the maybe conflict in the shakuhachi world about different techniques and who's right and who gets to say it. Uh, some players will only use the throat, and that's wrong. I mean, but who cares? Because it's just shakuhachi. So play it how you want. And frankly, if you can find your shakuhachi is full of movement, right? And different players will kind of take their own background and put it into what they're playing. If somebody has played Tozan-ryu for 30 years and they start playing a different school, of course it's going to sound a little bit Tozan-y when they play it, right? The same as somebody plays Kinko for 20 years and then starts playing Myoan pieces. Their pieces are going to sound a little more Kinko than Myoan for a while, right? um, it's fine, right? That's kind of what we do when we share things. We sort of make them our own. It's kind of like eating Chinese food in the United States, right? It's not the same stuff that you can get in China, so I've heard at least. Uh, right? Or look what we did to yoga, right? And that's I hear quite a bit different too, in a nice way, right? I like American yoga. It's you get to stretch and work out and stuff, and then some people take it more kind of religiously or whatever. Anyway, I'm getting off on a rabbit trail. We're talking about komibuki. So how do you practice? That's the thing, right? It might seem unnatural, and also you don't want to hurt yourself. Like, what if you're if you're doing it the wrong way, you can kind of maybe mess things up. So I would recommend not doing anything that hurts your body. But here's the key: if you want to practice komibuki and get your muscles up. By the way, it took me about 2 years to get my komibuki to the place there I felt kind of satisfied with it. Um, so it takes some time. But there are some natural motions that we already know that you can use as sort of a handhold or a foothold to climb the Komibuki mountain, right? One of them is laughter. Right? Now, if you want to shape your mouth for the most ideal shape for shakuhachi, you should probably say ho ho ho. So make it a Santa Claus laugh, one big Santa Claus belly laugh. Ho 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 ho. Right? And if you want to practice and get your komibuki muscles going on, walk around the house or around your workplace doing that. Ho 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 ho. Everybody will think you're nuts. And it's a pretty funny way to practice anyway. But that's actually pretty close to what it should feel like. Ho 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 ho. Now, it's hard to say ho 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 while you do it, but the feeling is pretty similar, right? You'll notice also if you keep doing that, your body starts to warm up. That's what komibuki does to you. It's cold in Hirosaki. Right now, I'm still looking at about 3 or 4 feet of snow out the window. Okay. Um, and again, Japanese houses like this one are generally heated room to room. That means when I come in this room in the morning, it's really cold. Like if it's -5 outside, it's going to be about 0. I'm talking in centigrade. So like if it's just below freezing Fahrenheit, it's like freezing-ish in here when I come in. So it's cold, right? But playing warms me up. It's I'm just practically speaking, whatever the history actually is there, that's a genuine benefit from playing this way. Uh, so again, if you want to kind of practice the feeling of laughing like that, those big Santa Claus belly laughs, ho 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 ho. You can hear me shaking my house when I do that. You could also think of it if you want to. You could be a gorilla or a monkey. That's actually a pretty nice practice too. When I listened to the Matsuoka brothers playing on their recordings, that was Dr. Yamada's teacher, you can hear the older brother Koichiro playing like this. You hear that? The fa-fum, fa-fum, fa-fum. You can hear kind of the diaphragm bouncing there. Um, and, that's right. That's the sort of the gorilla sound gets that action going there, and it helps you kind of learn to bounce your belly. What else can you do? Another insight that actually wasn't my own. That's thanks to you, Steve. Was the cough, right? If you cough or hiccup, that's kind of similar to the technique of those who use their abdomen but catch it in the throat and kind of shape it. Right, you ever notice if you get a coughing fit, your abdomen starts to get a little tired because you're using those muscles, right? And then it goes kind of sends a burst of air up, it gets caught in their throat, so it explodes out. Similar with the hiccup. Maybe the cough is a little bit better for that though. So, right, so two practices that you have depending on what Komi technique you're looking for. If you want that sort of abdomen bouncing effect, you can be Santa Claus or a gorilla. Ho, 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 ho. Right? Or if you want that sort of, you know, slingshot effect, the cough. Right? Probably everybody is still a little bit on edge on account of COVID, so you don't want to walk around your workplace doing that one. Um, Depending on how bad your sense of humor is, I guess. But those are some interesting techniques for practicing komibuki. Or you could just practice by playing the shakuhachi. That's another way. So there you go. Enjoy that.